everyone. Welcome back again. Thank you for tuning in. This is the iConis podcast. I'm one of your hosts here, Barry 3D for Deep, Dark, Delicious. And on my side, as always, is
DJ Rod C. But we got to do it at the same time. I can't remember the tune, but
yeah.
Anyways, what's up, people? You all know the TikTok one. You know when people just bob in their head and look to the side and like. Welcome to another episode of iConis. My name is DJ Rod C. That's Barry 3D.
I'm on the other side, man. I'm on the other side.
Are you? Well, for me, you're on that side. Okay, so on that side, Deep, Dark, and Delicious. That's where he is. Let's do it.
Right into the family. Strong bloodlines. So I said, thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all like and subscribing and doing all that. Like, subscribe, and share. Please share it. Don't let it be a secret. We want to keep this going as much as possible. If you can donate to help the channel, help the people out. If you want to donate and help the channel grow, find our coffee link. I'll put this at the bottom of the videos. Help us out. Buy us a cup of coffee. Tip. Shots. Okay, I'm good.
Everybody.
Okay, we good.
We good.
No, we're not. It's gonna come back.
No, we're not.
Round town. Okay, no, we good. You had to watch some of our older stuff to catch that joke. Look for it. So here it comes down to. So first, round table. Let's go through it. Right. One big shout out to all our boys at Touch of Grey. So that's Thomas Patrice, Dave Sokolowski, Zulf Ali, who's over in Dubai trying to live the Fast and Furious life, and myself. That's a Touch of Grey. You can find us. We drop videos all the time. We do like 3 to 4 videos. Sometimes maybe one long one throughout the week. So weekly, multiple times during the week, comedy videos from funny to serious. Come support us. Do the little hit the notifications for the new videos. Like the channel, let's get it growing. So we're not a number and have a name. And once things open back up, we will be back on tour, going around, world tour. So that's 1. 2.
Nice.
Let's hear it for my boy Zeus, Rat GTV. We will have him on as a guest soon enough. So thank you, Zeus. And if you know him, you can follow him. And he does hold these cold, funny dad jokes. Hilarious. And he captures you, and then at the end you realize it's a dad joke. So if you're in there, that's on you. So good on you for Zeus doing that. Let's hear it also for my man, Mr. Paul Ash. That's right, I'm saying Mr. because he's that good. That was my mentor. He took me under his wing, and here I am. So thank you, Mr. Paul Ash. Check him out, paulash.com. You can find the links on one of our older shows. He was a guest when we talked about Grimjack back in December. And he has his multiple shows with Battlecom. They talk funny. The check-in. So and the Love Doctor. That's what I forgot last time. Definitely check him out. And he does stand-up comedy live. So he's just everywhere. And you'll see him even on TV doing some commercials. He was on that new show. They're called Ghost. The North American version from that UK show. Yeah, you'll see him.
He was on Ghost?
Yeah, he was, man. He played a smaller character. We'll talk. I'll tell you which episode it was. I can't remember which one, but it actually shows up in the marathon, and they picked like certain episodes, and Paul's on it. Yeah.
Okay, I got to go back and check. But I like Ghost. I won't even lie. I like Ghost.
See, I got to get into it because I saw the UK version. I got to watch this version. So because the UK version was more serious. This one's.
I didn't honestly, off the top, I'll be honest. I didn't even know there was a UK version. So now I got to do some hunting.
Yeah, the UK one starts very serious. We'll go back. Okay, so
come on down. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, check him out. And then last but not least, the man that makes us look so pretty, the one, the only, who is it, Ron?
J Bird.
J Bird Digital Arts. Flip to the end of the video or wait to the end of the video, look for the link. We'll scan our flow code. You see the flow code there in Rod's name, and you'll find Jaybird Digital Arts. He does our templates and all our digital media, our logos, posters, all that stuff, for myself, for Touch of Grey, a lot of other comedians. If you got needs that need to be done digitally, I know it sounds wrong how I said it, but Jaybird.
Jaybird. Let's do it.
Right. So here we are on today's topic. Today's topic is just going to be us running through some of our random thoughts and how we feel. And a lot of times we just go in and we get into the show, and this is the new year. So we're just trying different things. It's a free form show. So, and before we start,
open format.
Open format. That's what it is. Episode is open format. But before we go, we're going to say one simple thing. If you have ideas of characters you want us to talk about, questions you have for us, situations, anything within this realm of nerddom that we love so much,
put it in.
Put it in the comments below.
Thank you very much.
Put it in the comments below. That's what it is. Don't let Rod give you 5 across the eyes. Put it in the comments below, right? And I mean, you can put it below on our YouTube page. You can put it on our Facebook page. You can put it on our Instagram page. You can even put it on our Twitter page. Put it in the comments below.
Let's do it. Come on. Just help us out. Listen, we got some crazy ideas ourselves, but sometimes we hear from you guys, and even talking to some friends on the side, and they'll mention something like, "Oh, why don't I? What? We won't do that show." So listen, be part of the family, be part of the network. Join in. Throw it out there. We have no problem. Like, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
So we will do that.
Yeah.
So bring it on. Let us know.
Bring it on. Yeah, exactly. Like Kevin, our cousin Kevin, turned around and gave us an idea, asked us. And if you look back, you'll see we talked about the Marvel Phase 4 way back one of our earlier videos that was brought to our cousin Kevin. So put it in the comments below. Here we go. Today we're just talking about what we're seeing on the screens, what we're seeing on the big screen, small screen, whatever.
Yep. Streaming networks and stuff like that. What's going on right now? So how did we, and literally, we just got on, we were just talking, getting ourselves ready for a segment, and we said, we got to talk about this. So where do we even start off? How do we even start off this conversation? Who did we start with?
So this one we start with. Okay, so I was talking about.
Was it Naomi?
Naomi, yes.
Was Naomi? Okay.
Yes, we started off with Naomi. So here we are. So right now, I know by the time you see this episode next week, episode 1 of Naomi, the new show by DC, will be premiering. It's premiering. Now we're filming tonight. It's Wednesday, January 11th.
Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Sorry, Tuesday. Wow. Okay. Blur's Day. I'll tell you why I was talking about Wednesday. So today is Tuesday, January 11th. By the time you see this episode, Naomi would be on their second episode coming out. So the reason why we brought that up is because I was talking to Rod and I said, "Oh, the new show Naomi's coming up. I know tomorrow is my heavy TV day, where it's going to be, episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett. Right. It's going to be me watching Superman and Lois, because since I'm recording this for everyone here today, it's recording on my PVR for me to watch later on. Now. That's right. So tomorrow is my day where I watch Superman and Lois, the season 2. I watch the Book of Boba Fett. I watch the Eternals on Disney Plus, and then I get right into my AEW wrestling. That's what I do, And then every time I'm on Disney Plus, I have one question: where's Condorman? Topic for a different day, Disney. Topic for a different day. You're putting out all this comic book stuff. We will talk about Condorman one time and see why he's supposed to be relevant, especially more so now than anything else.
Wow, yo, Condorman.
Wow, Condorman. Yeah,
that's a deep cut. Yeah, we'll get to that. That. Sorry, I'm just thinking it because I didn't know this guy had it in the back of his head. Okay.
Always, every time I go on Disney Plus, I see the Cat from Outer Space, but where's Condorman? I've watched my Herbies. Where's Condorman? You understand that? Condorman. So here we go. So we talked about Naomi, and this is my. It's a yay and no. It's a yay no point. I'll be very frank, and you all can tell me your opinion on this. So Naomi, new show coming on TV. Okay, that's great. I'm always down for more superhero stuff on TV. Got it. And I know this is gonna sound funny because here we are. This is like 2 black co-hosts on this show, and we said, "Oh, here's Naomi, black woman, young girl coming on the show." And I'm saying, okay, out of all the characters they could have picked, why Naomi? And it's not a knock on Naomi. What it is to me is there's DC 80, 90, whatever, how many years of comic books, and they could have brought out another character that had more of an established history to bring forward, right? So that's one point for me. And then my other point of it was, is they, in Naomi, you watch the trailer, and I've only seen the trailer, haven't seen the episode, but we know at one point she sees Superman flies by.
Right on.
But in the comic book, she sees Superman, she gets her powers, tracks down Superman and says, "I need you to train me to use my powers so I can better understand them. But in the TV show, it doesn't seem that she's ever going to interact with Superman. And I'm thinking, okay, look, you've got Tyler, you know, he was from what, Teen Wolf or whatever case be. Now he's playing Superman, right? He did Superman Crisis of Infinite Earths, and in the Arrowverse, he played Superman. No problem. Cool. You brought in Brandon Roth, who did Superman, and then you put him in one of the CW Crisis things, and he was playing an older Clark Kent with, the Dark Shield, the Dark S, just like Kingdom Come. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So now you're going to bring in either a third Superman, a third actor to play Superman. Why not just reach out and get, if you're going this far, reach out, get Brandon Roth, bring him back to co-star as Superman. We know there's multiple universes in the DC universe. We don't need to have 16 actors within
the time frame.
5 years playing Superman. Because right now we've had Henry, we've had Brandon, we've got Tyler. Okay, we don't need a fourth one to the mix. Use who you have. But the Warner Brothers can't seem to get it together. Right? So, that's my point. You go on that far, because now if she's only going to see Superman fly by going and never interact with him, you're taking away part of the story. So if you're going to commit. If you can't commit, quit and go with someone else.
So it's funny. Like when Barry brought this up, and we're like thinking, okay, great. I understand what you're saying, but in the commercial, from that particular teaser in the trailer, all you see is a figure fly by. The quick little history we found out during the trailer is that she's basically like a Superman hunter. Anything that's related to Superman, she's on her phone. She's like, I don't want to say she's like a Lois Lane in the sense that she just reports Superman, but anything Superman related, they basically saying that Naomi, you talk about Superman? Listen, what does Superman do over here? Superman. So yeah. she's all about Superman.
That's so she's not, if she ain't a Lois Lane, then she's a Jimmy Olsen. If she's not a Jimmy Olsen, then she's a fan of Superman. She's a Jimmy. She's a Jimmy. She's a super, and that's fine. I have, once again, no problem with that.
Right. And I understand.
But commit fully to the idea.
And this is where I say
go around the rim.
Right. Well, this is why I say with you, I understand that, and I don't see them bringing in a fourth one. I think it's more or less the same way, like, I believe they did it in the same. No, they didn't do it in that one. But you know how they always say, like, say Gotham has Batman, so they just make the reference that there's a neighboring city, so letting you know we're in the same world, Metropolis and Gotham. Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Gotham got that dark Avenger, that dark vigilante, that Batman.
The Dark Knight, right? Yeah.
That Dark Knight. That's all you know. You never see him. So I think that was the closest thing to try to tie her in. So going back with the storyline, because again, you're completely right. Naomi is a new character. She's new out the books. Definitely new to me. I haven't done any major research. That's why I wanted to go into the show with a blind eye, with a clean slate, take in what the show tells me, and then kind of go back and do my own research to see, okay, this is what the show did. What is the comics telling me?
Yeah.
What is the show? What's the comic? Are they relatable? Are they following the source material, or are they just going far left? Now, Barry was mentioning that, in the comic books, she reaches out to Superman and asks him for his help. Now, at least by the way Barry is saying, I guess, B, you haven't seen the latest trailer for that, or the latest commercial for that.
No.
Because now you're going to see that she's basically now interacting with, there's another third person, or there's another entity equation to it, who's basically seeing like he's trying to train her or help her to how basically control her powers in the force. That was the closest thing.
Yeah, so, but see, that's fine, because that's still somewhat part of the material.
Okay, we see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, but because you were talking about Superman, so I'm just wondering, did they go left? And okay, sounds like they're still online. That's good. So you're right. Are they going to bring in a Superman character? Because to me, it may start to draw away from her, because this is supposed to be the story, her life through her eyes. So have there goes Superman. There he goes, kind of thing, and have him as an entity, as an IP in the show, but you never see his face, so you can say, hey, this particular actor is portraying Superman. Yes. And I think they're going to try to pull away from that, at least for the time being. It's a shame, but like you said, there's so many, so who knows? who knows? Right now, we don't even know which universe that Naomi's in.
Well, see,
Naomi could be part of one of Tyler, or
yes,
maybe you can bring in Brandon. But I think it's more or less they're just trying to, okay, we're gonna fish this out, see how the public reacts to it, and if it looks good and we're doing good, maybe second season we'll do something like Shazam at the very end. All you see is the crest coming, like, oh, this is my best friend. Shazam bringing in bringing in Superman. So that could be the
But see, and that's, I know you don't know. So I read and how it is pretty much with Naomi. She gets her powers. She's a Superman fan. She finds Superman, train me, realizes, but then she's trying to figure out why she has powers. And all pulls into the storyline. She finds out that she's from another dimension, she's from another dimension.
Okay.
So then the bad guy she's got to fight is from that other dimension, trying to stop her. So
sure,
of course they go back and forth in different dimensions. This is why I was going more with Brandon Roth than as opposed to Tyler. Tyler's on his show, once a week. He's got a full.
Doing good.
He's doing good. He's got a full. Don't disrupt the flow. Don't disrupt the flow. Don't stop the rhythm. But Brandon is he can come in as a guest star, and it still ties into the other characters. Like, even though they did Crisis of the Infinite Earth storyline, we know what DC did. They made it, said we're not going to have multiple universes, and then they brought them back. So and that was in the books. So okay, if you're going to go that way, then fine. Bring Brendan. I would rather Brandon come back once in a while. Let him be there, like a couple of minutes in one episode. The first 2 episodes, he comes in as a mid-season. He may show up for a finale, and even at the finale at season 1, he gets like, "You got this. I got to go," and then just write the storyline that Superman needs to leave to do something. She's on her own, and it's established, and that's it. And then going forward, if they were to do a CW crisscross mashup, you can pull her in, and it's not going to be out of left field,
right?
And once again, I mean, you got to have some unity. Unity.
UNIT stands for unity. Okay, cool. Queen Latifah.
Right?
Got it.
Latifah. Dance to the music.
Okay. Yes, people, we're having too much fun here. So I will agree with that, definitely. And you had brought up a point. I don't know if you're gonna about why out of a sudden why we have this new character coming out, out of the woodworks. And I just said this is my opinion. This is the opinion of DJ Rod Sear. That this is DC's attempt to try to literally get in before Marvel gets in with Riri.
Yes,
because Ironheart is basically is slated to be coming out into the Marvel universe, or at least coming on that side of the fence. Marvel is coming with Riri and bringing her out. So I took it that DC's like, who do we have that's modern, that's new and modern? Because you're right, DC has characters. Remember, we talked about was it Action Man? That was one of the first an early edition of the black character. We talked about it.
I know we talked about Amazing Man. I'm sorry,
Amazing Man. Sorry, Amazing.
We mentioned him. Yes, we did make a mention of. Yes.
A quick mention of it. Right, and his granddaughter.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Terrific, Amazing. Amazing Man. Yes, Amazing Man. Sorry,
Amazing Man. Yeah, Amazing Man.
There's so much in your head.
Right. So there's Amazing Man. There's Amazing Man. The Terrific. Female wise, I remember because of the connection from Young Justice Phantom, the 4th season. Why can't I remember her name right now? And please forgive me, I just can't remember right now. But she was in one of the episodes, basically going back to the island with Ra's al Ghul, and hearing her say, "Yeah, my grandfather was Amazing Man." So she's a young character, a young female black character that they could have picked up on. But I think again, maybe because they already have DC dealing with Young Justice Phantom, maybe they're not going to touch that. So you're going with someone new. But Naomi, to me, again, not knocking it, but yeah, exactly. I believe there's still more, but I guess because she's more modern, she's more up to date. So
yeah, but I think you got it on the head. It's like, hold on, what's Marvel doing? They coming out with a black female character taking over. Okay, we got a black female character. Here we go. But commit, like you see with Ironheart coming forth. They've already dropped the little buds in people's ears. We all heard the rumor mills that the character is coming forth. So in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Robert Downey Jr. has done his Iron Man. Iron Man come and gone, right? So you see him birth, we see the death of him, you see his legacy is left behind. You see, at that last scene in Avengers, you see certain characters that he's interacted with have grown up, right? We've seen his wife Pepper Potts put on the Iron Man armor at one point, right? And even in Endgame, even though you didn't get like full out teams, you still got teams in the sense of, there's all the female Avengers. That's like Avengers 8. Like, the female Avengers were. I'm like, okay, at least they gave the pose. We got that 5-second, 10-second clip of all of you like, snap, y'all went there. Okay, cool, I'm good, right? So it's building up to this character because Iron Man he's dead in this one, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We know his technology is still out there, clearly with Spider-Man and so forth. Right. So that being said, bringing in Riri to take on and become Ironheart, that's fine. That's interesting. They've built towards it.
Right, exactly. And
they're not throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And I have nothing against the character, right? I'm just saying that if you're going to do the character, then keep as close to the source material as possible to keep the true fans of this character. There's there's characters coming out that that even I'm like, really? That one got popular? Like, another one from Marvel is Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still trying to gather that one, but
but
must be good with the kids. That's the only thing I can think.
I guess so. So, I feel, and this from both companies, that at this point, all these new artists and writers are coming up. Great. You have to the passing of the torch. You need to keep the blood going. You need new perspectives. I think that a lot of them are coming in saying, I created a character years ago, or I have an idea for a character, and I'm going to put this character forth. Okay, that's fine. Make new characters. You need new characters. What I don't like is they take established characters and go completely left field.
Yeah, completely.
Right? It's like, I'm not saying characters can't grow. I can't say characters can't have moments of crises and moments that are going to challenge their ideology, their faith as a character, right?
Keep going.
Right. But then they go on and do something completely left field that's really out of the realm just to make the shocking moment, but not so much the story moment. It's like for Daredevil, for example, Daredevil is now back in jail. And Elektra is running around as a new Daredevil, the woman without fear.
I saw that the other day, and I'm like, how far am I behind? And I guess I know I wasn't always a Daredevil follower, but I saw that. Just saw a clip of that just the other day on Instagram. I'm like, okay, let's go with that. I guess so. Right. But
I get that he's always going to be questioned by his faith as a Catholic. And that's an interesting dynamic. He's a blind Catholic boy with that Irish or Catholic boy raised with the Catholic guilt, as they like to say. At the same time, he's a vigilante lawyer, so he's two sides of a different spectrum, and he's a ninja. Let's be honest. Daredevil is a ninja. He was partially trained by Stick, right? His dad's a boxer. Stick came back, trained him some more. Stick's a ninja. Stick, Stone, Claw, they're all ninjas. They were fighting the hand. Okay, I'm good with that. And next thing you know, he's gonna fight Kingpin. He's got his moments and whatever case be. Now he's like, well, I gotta kind of go to jail for my crimes. Okay, and then Elektra's like, well, I'm gonna pick up and show you that I'm worthy as a person. I'm gonna defend the city as the new Daredevil. I'm like, okay, she could have just done it as Elektra, right?
Completely.
So this is why some stuff I kind of man. I go back to the source material.
Yeah, you know what? I'll
go ahead.
No. I hear what you're saying. Like, listen, my other tangent little is Marvel was doing it properly in the sense like they built, like you said. I'm going back to the part you were saying, like you left little sprinkles of stuff to show that you're going from one generation to the other. We're adding little tidbits, whatever the case may be. So unless we really sit down when Riri comes. This is Kevin Feige. There's would be unknown to us at this moment in time. For all we know, he's already planted seeds of her back there already. But I might not have picked it up. But when you see it,
yes,
you're gonna have to go back and like, oh, she didn't say something, or someone's referring to something like, oh, that's what you meant in in Iron Man and whatever the case would be. And I like that. They're trying to do the connection with the TV and doing it like the small screen. They try to connect that.
Yes.
And it's the Agent of Shield.
Yeah.
Miss Carter.
Yes.
They had their Agent Carter. They're trying to work it out. My problem with DC is that DC likes to put stuff out, clearly not trying. Like, again, the Arrowverse was the closest thing they had where they had some type of connection.
Yeah.
The best thing they were going, that they were basically trying to basically make it like a living comic book, where certain things are happening in one episode and another issue and another title has some type of connection to something else.
Yes.
That was the closest thing. But then you go back to their live movies or anything else, anything outside of Arrowverse, unfortunately drops the ball. That's the best way of saying it.
Well, yes, I get what you're saying. So let's put it this way. DC animation, A1.
Oh,
A1.
Yeah.
A1. Like, they need to follow what they did for Justice League Unlimited, all their cartoons, but A1. I have no issue with any of their standalone cartoon movies or cartoon series, generally speaking, that they make. I'll say they're at top tier. The CW universe that they did with the Arrowverse, for what they were, and keep in mind, there's legal reasons why they can't have certain characters in there and what they're allowed to use and all that. And with those tools, between
what they had,
what they had to use, and they grew on it and proved, they improved that a lot. They made a universe, and it makes sense. Even sometimes like, well, this character shouldn't do that. Okay, but keep in mind, they only had rights to use the character they had, so they had to kind of
and even then in the beginning, right? And even in the beginning of Arrow, they couldn't even call him Green Arrow.
Nope.
If I remember, they had to wait. It's basically after the first season. Maybe after the first season, that saw the popularity. I was like, oh, we're everybody liking it. Okay, DC said, okay, all right, you can use this. You can use this.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, you can use this one too, and that was it. But it built off of that. That was the only way. But it's hurtful, and I say it. And I mean, I want DC to be
succeed.
Succeed. I want them to be as popular and as be as successful as everybody drawn to MCU. I want people to draw to the DCU and just basically like thinking, oh my gosh, they've now took the time and built the foundation, and everything builds and builds and builds. But it's sort of like block.
Yep.
Block, and there's no whim or reason. Like, so we're trying to figure out, okay, there should be a connection here between that. No. And then they just drop the ball, or they do it too forcefully. And it's like, start fresh. All I can say is like, you're trying to start. Fine, start. But go with the concept that you're planting seeds for stuff in the future. It's not committing. They are committing. They're committing. They're committing to no.
Go ahead.
They're committing to make blocks stand alone. They're committed for that.
No,
but they're unity. There's no unity. They're not building in the sense of building the universe versus like saying everyone's seen like you're basically like an office, and everybody has their own section, their own department on the same floor, and somehow you got 4 different departments, and no one is talking to anybody else.
Exactly.
That's unfortunate. They're committed, but they're committed for their own department versus saying, like, listen, we need to build. Throw something in there that roll the dice. You got to be listen, this business is a gambling business. We understand it's a gambling business. Roll the dice that you plant something that, you know what, maybe it may not work later on, but at least for your fans, they will have some kind of deep cut and realizing, oh, you said something that you don't know about that, do you? Oh, you're not DC people. You don't. That's a deep cut. That was for me, and I understood that. But it's plants a seed that if something comes in the next movie or 2 movies down, when I see a connection, realizing, did they make a reference to that like 2 movies ago? Oh, golf clap. You guys did good. It's not the commitment. They could commit, but they're committing for just their block individual. Yeah,
you're right. I see
individual, but not to build it as a universe to say we're going to expand and add on. because it hurts. It's very hurtful
It
when we're
is. Look,
watching this, and I'm watching stuff, and I'm like, come on, guys, you guys have it there.
I
Build on it,
like both
and
books
then
from
you stop,
both.
and then
Yeah, you're like,
right,
okay, well, that was it. That was a little bit. You missed the mark on that one. You're almost there. Like, I mean, look, case in point, if you look at and you know, yes, this is kind of maybe going into a DC Marvel discussion. So if you look at
okay.
Marvel has already set up the Young Avengers.
Come on, this is what I'm talking about.
Marvel, let me repeat this again. So if anyone is not a hardcore fan, Marvel has already set up the Young Avengers, be it if they're going to put them on a streaming service like Disney Plus, or be it if they're going to put them on the big screen, be it if they're going to introduce the team. The Young Avengers are almost all members are almost all there, right? And because if you watch Falcon and Winter Soldier, right, that brings in Young Patriot because you know his grandfather was the original Captain America. And the guy has the exact same name as the Young Patriot. So there you go, his grandfather, and that's how the story is.
That's a callback. That's a callback.
That's a callback.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's a planted seed. Look at that. That's from how many movies ago. If they bring that now, you could say, "Oh, I see Isaiah."
That's
see
right.
what you're doing. That's all you got to do.
The grandson had like a couple of lines in there more than just walking by, because you're like, who is he? Hardcore fans are like, oh snap, one member of Young, of the Young Avengers.
And to put a pause on there, that again, this is a gambling business. We understand that Marvel is rolling the dice. Let's see what we could do. Let's see what we could do. And all you got to do is put it in there. It doesn't technically cost you so much to put that reference. If you can make it part of the story, leave it there, and don't just put it there for hopefully you can catch up later. But if it doesn't, at least you know it still makes sense in the story versus just forcing something that you had no plan to set forward. That's the problem I have. But that's it, because Marvel is at least throwing the chances. And the point I was going to get to is like you're talking about now to Disney Plus. I was going to start it with Agents of Shields. Agent of Shields, how they brought Agent of Shield in between the movies, and it didn't reference to it properly, and they I took it that Marvel was trying to roll the dice on that. It kind of fell through a little bit, but they realized, you know what, people are going to appreciate this more. That's why now you start seeing WandaVision, Hawkeye, all these ones that basically. Loki, all these individual ones that are now a separate standalone small screen movie show actually has connections to the MCU. Yes. So it's just weaving it back and forth. So man, this is why DC is now doing this with Naomi. Hey, that's great. I'm bringing back circle.
Outside the block, like get unity. Right. Unity.
Well, that's it. That's it. So if you're going to do that, now commit to say, fine. Now, refresh my memory. What is the DC's version? Like Disney has Disney Plus.
HBO Max.
It is HBO Max. Okay, so whatever you're putting on HBO Max, fine. Don't see Naomi, because Naomi is on the small screens on TV and everything like that. Yeah. That's where it might get a little tricky. And this is where Agent of Shield was, that it was kind of tricky. Fine.
Yeah, I get you.
But if you put something on HBO Max, and that's what I mean. Right now, I can't commit in my head to realize who or what they have slated, what they have current, or what they have slated in HBO Max. And I don't have HBO Max. I would just say I don't have that. So I don't know what they have. But if you're putting stuff there, intertwine it and sew it together that at least it threads off. You go back to when everybody knows this particular meme. When Spider-Man was coming up, you see the guy doing like this on the big screen on his back wall with all the lines, all the red lines connected, whatever it takes to be. Yep. That's what you have to make. Yep. You have to make that and realize that, like, if you want to increase and strengthen your brand, you have to understand that although you are doing this for the young people to come to your movie theaters and come to your movies, you have to understand that the people, the generation like us who grew up on it, now we're older, we have more cash flow. Let's do this like a business.
Yes.
We're people who have the cash flow. We're the ones who can go and buy. Well, go to the movies like that. We may not invest in the figurines as much as you would expect with kids, but we're the ones who's paying for the more expensive figurines. We're the ones who's paying for the bust. We're the ones who's paying for the 1x16 and 1x19, 1x8 cars, Batmobile cars, whatever the case would be. Like we said, we got a friend, again, a man off of the Touch of Grey, Mr. Patrice. He's a man of that. He's a man of that. He's a Batman. He's a Batman. He's a bad man who's a Batman.
That's right.
This guy's got stuff in his house. I've seen it. I'm like, yeah, you're a bigger player than me, bro. That's good for you, bro. But this is what I'm talking. The man is using he's liquidating his stuff, his capital, his money to do that. So hopefully this will catch somebody. I mean, those on our stream, thank you for listening, enjoying it. This may never get to someone who has some deep pockets or whatever the case. You know, the white collar people. You know what I mean? You know, the upper management. But make them understand. Give us a job. I have no problem. I can work for that. Listen, I can consult on that. As you can tell, I'm consulting already. This is what we do.
Exactly. We're already doing it. I mean, look. So
we're already doing it.
Going back to the point, right? Just to show you, and I know you're still catching up on Hawkeye, so I don't want to spoil stuff for you. But if it's something,
listen. You can tell me the director's cut. I've always told you. You can tell me the director's cut. You can tell me what he was thinking that day. I can see the script and the coffee stain on that day, and he rewrote it 20 minutes before he said action. You could tell me. It will never stop me from watching it.
Good.
So I'm good.
So here we go with some points right now, right? So just to show you on the Marvel side.
Spoiler alert. Just in case.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, we're going to do some spoiler alerts for Hawkeye. So if you haven't caught up on Hawkeye yet, here comes a spoiler alert. So, and some of the other the MCU stuff. So when I mean that certain characters are established, so they've already brought in Patriot, right? And Falcon and,
I know where you're going.
And Winter Soldier. Okay. They've already brought in Kate Bishop because she's in the Hawkeye series.
Right.
Okay. She's part of the Young Avengers. Then there's two keen ones. And you know, which is Wiccan and Speed, which were the boys of Wanda in WandaVision.
Yep.
That's 4 members of this potential team coming up. Now, keep in mind, there's still others come in, right? There's a younger version of Loki that joins the Young Avengers. Okay, that's 5. And then, you know, there's other ones that haven't really been introduced yet, unless I missed them. But that's who I've seen. I know they show Hawkeye at one point. Okay, Vision. Okay, but are part of the Young Avengers. There's a couple of others. You know, Vance Astrovic. No one knows who Vance is unless you read Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, the original comic book, where it takes place in the 31st century, not the one that James Gunn has done. Not that one. This I'm talking the original Guardians of the, you know, and that character has showed up at the very end of Guardians of the Galaxy, where Sylvester Stallone was playing. His character was Starhawk.
Right.
But he was Starhawk without the powers. They didn't give him the powers in that one. So this is what I mean by they've planted those seeds. The actor's already been cast. It's there. It's a very good possibility if they wanted to do it. It's just a matter of we got the script. You already cast. You guys don't do anything stupid in your social media. You got a job. True? Facts?
No, true.
Right?
True.
So this is what I mean. Now, when I look at, you know, the DC part of it, they could be doing stuff like this. They've come close to doing stuff like this. It was very exciting when Flash, Arrow got together and they do the yearly crossover event. Not this last one with Desperado, because
I was.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk.
That episode, which would not be named.
Yeah.
One of those ones.
Yeah, and then and this is what I meant by spoiler alert, right, Rod? So in there, I know this has come up, and fans have kind of debated it. So the whole thing with Hawkeye, he's got to get back a particular object. You don't know, you know, everyone's talking.
No,
about
I know. The sword.
No,
the watch. Okay, no. So, like I said, I had to catch up on Hawkeye.
Right. There's sword for himself, and then there's a watch, and he goes through this whole thing trying to get back this watch that was on an auction. And at the very end, he gets the watch back. Okay, he goes back, and this is what, and this goes back to your point of planting seeds. He gets the watch. He goes back. He gets back to his family. He's hanging with his wife. And she's like, and he's like, hey, yeah, you know, you got to stop leaving your stuff all around. You know, she's like, oh, you're one to talk. Haha, because she's making a reference to him and his sword and the Ronin costume. And he's making a reference to this watch, which she takes and turns over. And the watch has a shield insignia on the back of the watch.
Okay.
Saying Agent 19. Hold up. Bear with me. Who's Agent 19, you say? Let me educate you today. So the original Agent 19 in the Marvel comic books her name is Bobby, who's the character Mockingbird.
Right.
Now, this is where fans are kind of going back and forth. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that character was already played by somebody else. Bobby Mockingbird was played by a different actress. I can't remember her name right now. I think it's Adriana, but she was she's currently on the Orville. You know, that space show that, you know, like it's almost like Star Trek, right? She's the blonde girl, right? She actually was she was playing Wonder Woman in the pilot episode, you know, but it never got off the air. But she's been around. She was in the second G.I. Joe movie playing Lady J. So this actress has been around for a while. She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Her code name was Mockingbird, Agent 19. Right. So fans are saying, well, wait a minute. How can there be two Mockingbirds, two Agent 19s? That doesn't make sense. Here's my theory. They could be two Agent 19s. Keep in mind, one is retired. Right. The title goes on.
Right, exactly.
So I take it that Bart, and I'm gonna get back to what I'm planting the seed. So with Clint's wife, Hawkeye's wife, at one point you hear her speaking Russian. Right? She's on the phone with Hawkeye. She's speaking Russian. The kids are like, oh, mom's talking to dad again. She's talking Russian. Why is she talking? How's she know Russian? She just seems to be a normal housewife raising her kids, you know? Then you see at the end, Agent 19. So yes, she could have been, in my opinion, she was probably the first Mockingbird, Agent 19. In a comic book, Hawkeye does marry Bobby Mockingbird. They do get married. Then they get divorced. So there's the MCU. There's a little tweak to it. He does marry Agent 19. They do go around and have a family. He says he'll keep working, keep my family safe. Who's better than to raise your kids and you can walk away and do all your superhero stuff with? An ex-S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She's got the training. If someone came knocking on that front door, you don't think she will light them up? She was Agent 19. Yeah. So even if they never gave her the name Mockingbird, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But she was the original Agent 19. She could have passed the name on and then say, look, you know what? Make her Agent 19. Strike me from the records. I'm good. I'm in love with this man. We go raise a family. I'll be home with the family. You do what you got to do with part of the Avengers, right? Going back to the Avengers movie.
Right? That's where my head is tilting back. Go on. Yes. I think we're going to the same place. Go on.
At one point, when Tony Stark is there with Captain America and they meet Hawkeye's family for the first time and they start talking, he's like, what? You're raising, he's like, are you guys trading little secret agents all in here? I was like, is everyone here a secret agent? Tony makes that comment. How many years ago did he bustle that comment to today?
Very good. Very good. And I was also going to say that the fact that he was planting seeds, but how they walked in and she wasn't like taken back, knowing that, you know, what he does and who's the group that he's with, whatever. But she was and I always took that as like, she's very nonchalant when when the Avengers came in. She's way past comfortable. Yeah. Not
hey,
only
Natasha,
in the sense
how
like
you doing?
right there. Like I took that as okay, maybe through Clint, Budapest, Natasha. Yes. Okay, cool. I know he's on the team with all these superheroes, like you said. Like you may be a mortal man per se with all these kind of gods, but you're a good fit for them type of scenario. Like I was taking her as just being the supportive wife in that sense. Now that's why he's like, if anybody go back and rewind maybe like about 5 minutes ago, you'll see me leaning back here because my head was going through that right there. I'm like, oh, naturally.
Yep.
Yeah.
She was pregnant when they first came in, and he's like, "What are you doing? Raising little secret agents?"
Right.
Because she was one. Where's the best place he would have met her? In S.H.I.E.L.D. In the MCU, Hawkeye was part of S.H.I.E.L.D. He would have met his significant everything important in Hawkeye's life happens because of S.H.I.E.L.D. He met his wife, met his best friend, right? We all know about Budapest, all this stuff. Any really big moments with the character Hawkeye was all part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
See, this is what I'm talking about in the sense, it's not to sound harsh, but Marvel has that particular board. I'm telling you, I'm so like the digital. Kevin Feige probably have a digital bubble chart on his screen in his on whatever floor he has. He probably has like, how long is this wall? Let's use like 20 feet. He probably has like a 20 feet digital TV, and they just have blowing in, blowing out, and make the connections here. Make the connection here. This is planted from 2005. I'm making that comment from there, and I'll just leave it, put that in yellow. That means I got to come back to that at some point. I'll come back to that yellow bubble at some point. Passing by, walking by, going, get something, getting some coffee. Like, oh yeah, the yellow bubble. Maybe I can put this in the next movie.
Yeah, see,
this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is why it's just. I understand. We go back to Barry and I always used to say back in early days. We say source material. You got the source material. The wall is there. Use it.
The source material will not steer you wrong. Not steer you wrong. I mean, and show the fact, right? So I know we're getting a little bit long-winded, but that's my point when I'm talking about the MCU, Marvel, how they're doing it. DC animated, they do it well. Be it if it's the movies, be it if it's the. Well, when I say they do it well, you look at Justice League. They put their seeds, they had their subplots in there, they did that. Justice League Unlimited, same thing. Young Justice, same thing, right? The Batman animated series, Superman the animated series, same thing. They put these things in there. Even Batman Beyond, Batman Brave and the Bold, the little kind of joking one. They brought in some characters that never seen screen time before, but gave them a chance. Same thing. Even their movies where they bring in Constantine and the little shorts, and same thing. Arrow. The CW universe. They look. Let's put it this way. CW universe, Arrow season 1. It was like Slade was a different person than Deathstroke, but then they finally were able to merge the two characters together to make him the one as we know. Then they came up with DC Legends Tomorrow. Season 1, I liked it. Season 2 was fire because they brought in the Justice Society of America in costume. Costume. That's committing. Okay, we're good. So this is what I'm talking about. When you're on point and with the source material will not let you down. Like in the Fourth World, Jack Kirby's A Fourth World or Darkseid or Ryan and the New Gods. The source will not let you down. The source wall will write what it needs. Source material. That's the flaming finger on the wall.
That's the part. See, this is the part.
Right. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I can even go half a second deeper. This cut going to be deep, Rod. If you go back to the Valiant universe, right, which is like a Bloodshot, which was done by Vin Diesel, live action movie. Don't hold that particular movie against the character, right? Let me tell you, here's the deep cut. There is a web, online. It's called Ninjak. Right? If you look up Ninjak verse, the Variant universe, or whatever case it be, you'll see it's a live action series. It has my boy Jason David Frank, the Green Power Ranger, White Power Ranger. He's in there playing a character. He's playing Deadshot or Bloodshot. He's playing Bloodshot in this web thing, right? And they bring in Ninjak, and they bring in Exo, Man of War, and they bring in Jason David Frank doing Bloodshot, right? And all the characters from this universe together, trying to work together to stop Ninjak, and it was so good because they were part of the source material. It had humor, it had action. It was like little 10 episodes that they put online, like through Machina Mania or Bat in the Sun, one of the, that put it all together. And I was like, so, and that was just that was a taste. Yeah. When you watch Bloodshot with Vin Diesel, as the money went to him, you should go back and watch that whole thing to catch that, the Mortal Kombat webisodes, that source material. Stay with it. It's good, right? This is the only person left to catch up to this whole thing here is Image. Image is done, tried, they put their toe in the water a little bit and they jump right back out. I know they're supposed to come back out with Spawn, but Image, if you're coming out with Spawn, you better tie in Savage Dragon, you better tie in Youngblood, you better tie in Wetworks,
Right. No.
Team 7, Gen 13,
wow.
You know what I mean? Wildcats.
I was about to say, yeah. But you see, this is where I again, Marvel took the risk and started properly. Like you said, they started with, we were on a conversation, we're talking about Blade, started off everything.
Oh God, yes.
So Blade, yes, started everything. Marvel, was bankrupt a few years prior. Right. Well, yeah. Well, Marvel was bankrupt 2 years ago, came out with Blade, brought back money back to the home front. Marvel was able to start doing proper stuff. They started with Iron Man. It was a roll of the dice, but they had the idea, the vision to build up everything. I always tell people, I felt DC just looked at them like, I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And unfortunately, by the time they realized it was going to work, it was too late. Realize,
tortoise in the hair.
Tortoise in the hair. Follow. But I'm now going to your image concept. Follow the Marvel template. It is clearly working. It's clearly shown that there are people out here who want it. There are people out here who are dying for it. Yes. They're hungry for it. Follow that template. And this is where DC, you're right. DC animated, no problem. And that's why, like I say, it's like everybody's on the same floor, but there's like the animated department and you got the live department, you got the TV, and everybody is not talking to each other. I don't know why. Just follow forget it. If you want to be individual, fine. Follow what Marvel's doing. Because this is what I'm saying. If Image does that, if Image starts off with, like you said, start off with Spawn, and then, like you said, bring in Savage Dragon, bring in Wildcat, bring in Wetwork, they could basically just throw in deep cuts, and just basically Image can literally be as successful.
Yes,
it's a resurgence. It could be as successful as Marvel if Image does it right. DC, I'm telling you, is out of the goodness of my heart. Not to sound bad. Don't let Image come and do this and pass you.
No,
because Marvel already passed you. Don't. It's going to be.
We've had how many Batman come out so far? How many different Superman come out so far? I mean, look, let's go back. On a point, I'll say this: Wesley Snipes, Marvel, so DC, Mickey Mouse, the Marvel, the Disney Plus, all that stuff. Y'all need to turn around and send Wesley Snipes a gift basket. After the 10-day opening of every Marvel movie, right? Send Wesley Snipes a gift basket. Put a couple of dollars in there for Wesley Snipes.
I just put some dollars in there.
Put some dollars in there because the Marvel universe. I know people are gonna say Iron Man. No, it was Blade. Blade was a D-list character. At the time, turned around and people saw Blade, didn't even realize Blade was a Marvel character. Wesley Snipes updated the look of Blade. He kept pretty much the source material origin of Blade. He put in some cool martial arts effects to make it look visual, right? Visually appealing, and he's hunting vampires. So a lot of people didn't realize Blade was a Marvel movie until the second. So Blade was a R-rated Marvel movie with an African American lead. I'm not taking anything away from Black Panther. I'm just saying without Blade, we would not have Spider-Man. We would not have Fantastic Four. We would not have Avengers and all the crisscross they doing. You wouldn't have Captain America. You wouldn't have Thor. You wouldn't have these movies of that caliber. If you look at any Marvel movie prior to Blade, Dolph Lundgren playing the Punisher, great casting. Yo, why'd you do his costume that way? Spider-Man 1977. Okay, Lou Ferrigno the Hulk. That was what we were getting, and Bill Bixby. That was the best we were getting. When Blade came about at the time, before that, there was Christopher Reeve Superman. There was Michael Keaton Batman. So DC was putting more money in there and it was paying off for them, and Marvel was sitting there going, oh, geez, what are we doing? And then Blade came out, and they're like, yeah, you can do whatever. We still trying to roll the plan.
They're trying to roll the dice on that.
It was Wesley Snipes came out in desperation. Marvel was sitting there going, guys, what are we going to do? What do we do? Hey, man, can I have Blade? Yeah, whatever. Go on, take it. Get out of here, kid. Get out of here. I think it was like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. What? big box office opening. Wait a minute, what? Blade? Wait a minute. Is that the same guy that came and said, yeah, I can have Blade? And we said, yeah, kid, get out of here. How much money is he pulling in opening weekend? It's still number one in the box office after how many weeks? He's still making money. He wants to do a second one. Hey, Wesley, can we talk to you for a second? Excuse me.
Right.
It went from, hey, kid, get out of here to, excuse me, sir, can we talk? All I'm saying is, at this point, Disney, right, Marvel need to send over a gift basket at every movie opening to Wesley Snipes and say thank you. Thank you, Mr. Snipes.
Listen,
can't even call him by his first name. Thank you, Mr. Snipes.
Mr. Snipes.
Don't
Mr. Snipes
mispronounce it.
Don't. Put some respect on my name.
That's right. Only thing is just pay some money, pay the lawyers this time, right? Hey, Wesley, pay the taxes. Pay the taxes. Yeah. Give it to him as a gift. So this way, does he have to pay any taxes? It's a gift.
Shame.
Give him a gift basket with the money in there. You know, when you walk in there and it's like, hey, man, here's a couple of bucks for you. Hey, yeah, thanks. You know, like, honestly,
yeah, truly, there's certain events that, you know, high class events, you know, they come and give you a gift bag, you know, all little totes of bags and whatever and stuff inside, you know, give them, you know, and put an envelope in there. But no, really and truly, that's it. Because if you go back again, the history of Blade is that, again, that why I'm saying rolling the dice, because at the very end of it, all you see is a very small,
yes,
by Marvel. And then, like you said, like, wait, he's doing what? He's pulling in what? He wants to do a second one? Now at the beginning,
Marvel. Yeah, because people went and saw the sequel. I remember having this conversation with people in the theater that I didn't even know, right? So I was there with the girl I was going with at the time because she's like, oh, vampire movie is an action movie. And I'm like, oh, man, what is it? Blade. I want to see it. It's a Marvel movie. And she looked at me and like, what? And I'm like, it's a superhero movie. She's like, well, I don't like superhero movies. I'm like, well, I'm going. So it's either you come with me or I roll alone. And she came with me. She's like, and the first 10 minutes, you know, I don't like superhero movies. I don't like superhero movies. Movie start. I don't like. Oh, she paid attention, saw the action, walked out, said, hey, that was a great movie. And I go, see, wait here at the credits. And there it was. And in little, as you put it, in little words, Marvel. I go, see, Marvel movie. And there was people that were sitting around me. And we know when I talk, my voice carries, I'm loud. And people are like, wait a minute, what are you trying to say, Marvel movie? Being Marvel Comics? I'm like, yeah, Marvel Comics. Like, Blade's not a comic book character. Man, know your source material. Come on, son. Know your source material. I told the guys, like, look, it's a Marvel, it's a Marvel movie. And he's like, no, it is a Marvel movie. It says Marvel. You saw Marvel. Blade showed up in the Spider-Man comic book. If you watch the Spider-Man animated series, Blade was in there. He just had a different look. And people were shocked because guess what? They didn't realize it was a Marvel movie. All those people that turned around at the time and saying, oh, comic books suck. Comic books are for nerds. Comic books are for kids. Guess what? Your grown backside walk in there with your hard-earned dollars. You sat down and you watched a comic book movie. So all those times you were dissing comic books, guess what? You were watching it. And that's what came up. People walked out there shocked, kind of like, I've done a thing. What do you mean you've done a thing? I've watched a comic book movie. I thought you said you're going to see Blade. It's a comic book movie. This black guy was sitting beside me, told me it was a comic book movie, and then I went online on Google and I typed in Blade and I saw it's based off a comic book movie, but I liked it. Merchandising, and as you put it, the second one came out, and when Marvel realized, like, wait a minute, people realized that was it did how much money? Okay, hey, we're gonna have to get you guys in the bullpen. We need you all to come up with a cool logo that we can put in the front of our movies, our digital visuals department. Yeah, do something. And next movie was out, and he's like, hey man, I got this all set to go. He goes, we're gonna make one change. We're putting our name at the very front. Marvel.
And that was it.
And that was the start. So every year, every movie that comes out, every show, every streaming, anything, and it's on a screen.
Cut the man a 50.
Owe Wesley Snipes some money.
Cut the man a 100. Cut the man 100,000. Just cut him a little. Just cut him a little 100,000. Just cut him a little 100,000. Give him some gas money.
Give him gas money. You all gonna give him access to the Disney jet. What's that, Wesley Snipes? Mr. Snipes. You're going somewhere for a vacation? Get on the private Disney jet and we'll fly you over to the Disney cruise and give you the executive suite yacht. We'll even let you drive forget the yacht. We'll put you on the Disney cruise ship. We'll let you steer. drive where you want to go. All expenses are us.
Yeah, like that. No, but it's so interesting and so hilarious that people don't know this. So that's why I'm like saying that there are so many connections. Marvel, roll the dice on that one, or basically like you're saying, like it may work, it may not work. Bam, it blows up. So a couple years later, when they did Iron Man, roll the dice again. But now Kevin's in charge, and Kevin was like, I'm planting seeds. This is supposed to be a living comic book. Let's start planting seeds. And that's what it is. So this is why I'm just saying, DC, you're in the same sandbox. So you should be in the same sandbox.
Right?
You should be in the same sandbox. And you're now like the sandbox a block behind. Come on. I want you to be in the same park. At least be in the same park. Come on. You guys can do it, man. It's not like you're making up a book and you have no idea what the source material is. You got many years of source material. So, but anyway, we're not going to like beat a dead horse and come back to that. But basically, DC, you have, but I'm just saying, but DC, you have the ability. If you're going to start now, we can talk about the past, but you got to start working for the future. Start working for the future. If you're going to start with Naomi at this current state, fine. Basically, I know that they're saying with Flash is supposed to be the reboot. And that's another segment I don't want to go into. That's another day. We'll talk about that another day. But if you're going to call that to be like a reboot, please just use the source material. And let's do this right.
There's only one reboot that should exist, and that's Reboot the cartoon.
And not even the second generation. I need the original.
That's
right. I see the second one. I see the second generation one. Like, no. You're right, Megabyte. I see Megabyte there, but like, let's go back to the original. Reboot. Reboot. Oh my gosh. I can go off on that too as well. That's a show
we've got so many ideas for shows this year. So let's shelve that one and let's just simply say MCU, thank you. DC, you're doing good, but you can do better. Image, come on now. This is your chance. Do it right. Do it right. and there's more characters that can be put on all these screens. So that's my notes. Rod, any final messages before we...
Listen, all I can say is, listen, we know you got something in the back. You got something in the bag. DC, come on. You've now have enough times that you rebooted and started. You can do it now. So we have faith that you're gonna pull it out the trenches. Let's do it. Image. Let's see what you got in the bag. And we'll go from there. Other than that, this has been a great evening. We had some good conversations. I'm glad that hopefully you guys are enjoying it as much as we're enjoying it. Hopefully we kind of dropped some nuggets and made you think and you're like, oh boy. That's all we want you to do. And all these, oh boys, just put it in the comments. That's all we're asking.
Put it in the comments. Just put it in below. I know it sounds wrong, but I don't care, man. Put it in below. So on that note, I am Barry 3D. I'm here with
DJ Rod C.
This is the iConis podcast. And remember, this whole world was started by a pencil, a piece of paper, and imagination. Keep on dreaming.
Keep on dreaming. You can just walk on, keep on. I don't know where that came in. I don't know how to get. I don't know. I was going for Unity, but I was like, yeah.
We out.